Big news for today! BMW enters the cruiser segment with the new R18. It's big, it's classy, it's beautiful, and it will be a tough rival for Harley-Davidson. The engine is an air-cooled boxer, a traditional BMW engine, and is the biggest one BMW ever produced. 1800cc, it makes 91 horsepower, which is excellent for this segment, but probably it doesn't mean too much if you're a sports bike rider. However, when it comes to cruisers, when it comes to this type of engines, the torque is the most important. And from 2000 to 4000 RPM, the range you're gonna use it for 90% of the time, it produces 150 Newton meters of torque, which should be enough, more than enough. We also got the engine sound from the BMW footage, so let's listen to it. Sounds pretty good and I'm eager to ride it, but before that let's have a closer look at the engine, because it's not just about the sound, it's also the way it looks, because this engine is a piece of art. It's an OHV engine, 2 camshafts, and it features those push rods that resemble the traditional boxer. The engine's built more than 70 years ago. Actually, the engine is inspired from the old R5 and I'm gonna show it to you right now. I found it. This is the R5 engine. It was built in 1936. Of course, the engine we're talking about right now, the big boxer, is a completely new engine, and although it borrows some elements from this one, it's a completely new stuff. Just like the old boxers, it features a single disc dry clutch, but it was built as a self-reinforcing anti-hopping clutch, which is very important for this type of engine with huge torque and low RPM range, because if downshifting aggressively, the wheel won't lock anymore. So this is a very cool safety feature. The throttle is ride-by-wire, which is also very important, and respecting a smooth response of the acceleration. Now let's move to the back wheel, because this is another piece de resistance. It's the exposed shaft over here. It's nickel plate and it's open, just like the BMWs built until 1955. The R18 features a traditional double loop steel frame, which is very nice put together. And now let's move to the swing arm over here, because it's also made of steel tubes and cast or forged parts. It surrounds the real X transmission, just like in the BMW R5. It looks like a rigid frame, which is very cool, but obviously it has a rear suspension hidden somewhere under the seat, and everything goes in line in a spectacular way. Also on the front, as in the old R5, the suspension tubes are encased in fork sleeves, giving this minimalistic, clean, historical feeling. Having this giant boxer engine, it's impossible to obtain an elongated riding position, so BMW comes with mid-mounted foot pegs right behind the cylinders. What I wonder is there gonna be a lot of heat coming from the engine during the hot summer days? I don't know, I cannot tell you for now how it feels, but in 2 days from now on, I'll be able to get my hands on one of these. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to ride it, but still I'm gonna sit on this bike and tell you how it feels. However, there are some different seats and handlebars available to customize it. From what I've seen on the list, there are 6 seats, some handlebar risers, and 3 optional handlebar types, including 2 ape hangers like this one. Speaking of accessories, there are different dimensions of wheels, different pegs and footboards, bags. Anyway, it's a long list of elements and it would take me way too long to talk about them. But there are some genuine American parts worth to be mentioned, like the Vance and Hines exhaust, the Mustang seats, and the Roland Sands collection created specially for this bike. There are 2 collections, the machined and the two-tone black. So you can transform it just as you like, from the classic simple R18 to this eye-catching bobber. It's not this one, it's this one. The R18 features keyless ride, and there's this minimalistic button over here to turn your bike on, and there's also a classic dash which looks lovely, and a small digital display where you can see the riding modes. I'm gonna show it to you. So this is the dash, and you can see the riding mode over here. This is the roll riding mode, and speaking of that, it's a very interesting part over here because usually BMW bikes have 3 riding modes. It's rain, road, and dynamic, and I don't know, maybe dynamic pro or something like that, and enduro in the case of a GS. Now this R18 features a completely different riding mode. It's the rain, of course, then it's roll, and then it's rock. Through these riding modes you can control the intervention of the ABS, the traction control, and the throttle response. Of course, rain is the softer one, roll is somewhere in the middle, and rock gives you full power. Another cool feature is the reverse gear, because this is a heavy bike and there's a switch on the left side on the bike. This is the switch and it's very useful. There's also a cruise control that comes as an option. The headlight is full LED, it's round, it looks classical, but it also comes with cornering lights. The base price for the USA will be somewhere around $70,500 and it will cost $19,870 with additional stuff. In Europe, on the other hand, we'll have the first edition that will cost 22,800 euros in Germany. Of course, the price will be different depending on the market. In just 2 days from now, I'll be able to get my hands on this bike and I'm gonna come up with a walk around and I'm gonna be able to share my thoughts after seeing it in person. So if there's something you want to know about the new R18, just ask using the comment section below and I'll try to come up with an answer as soon as possible. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more and check the info in the description if you want to support us. Thanks for watching.